So here's the man of the hour. Now let's get pissed off. I really do see the victims that he's going after, specifically medical medium, but all these spiritual gurus, they're going after people who have real problems. Some of it, and we're going to talk a lot about chronic illness today. A lot of them are people with chronic illness, undiagnosed, mysterious disorders and diseases. And because I think a lot of doctors won't give you a diagnosis without having confirmation about what it is, a lot of people are left in the dark about what's going on, why they have certain symptoms, where it's coming from. And people like this are like, they're sniffing around. They're like, oh, there's money to be made here. There's a market for people who have illnesses. Let me take advantage of them by telling them whatever I want. And the big problem with that, going back to the media, is that the media gives this guy credibility. For what? I don't understand.
This situation is a red flag.
This situation is a red flag, to say the least. So anyways, okay, let's look at this guy. Who this guy is. This is his website, medicalmedium.com. A lot of people love this man. Now, one thing, I will give you a challenge. No one knows where this guy is from. Now, he lives allegedly in Florida. He lives in Sarasota, which is not too far from where I am. But this guy is a mystery because I believe he doesn't want anyone poking around trying to find out if his claims are true. Now, to say his claims are true or not is almost a joke because he says he talks to an angel, essentially, a ghost, a spirit, a white man, which is how he described him in his book. A white man with like a beard and like a biblical figure talks to him and tells him what ailments you have. Proving that wrong is pretty simple. No, that's not what happens. But at the same time, at least you could confirm his story. Like if he was like this his whole life and he's just weird and just is, thinks he's gifted as a medium, or if he's 100% full of shit and decided he saw the money with chronic illness and said, I'm going to capitalize on this. It's hard to say which one is which because we don't know his age. So if anyone can find his age, holler at your girl. We don't know where he's from. He has no family that I can find, like wife, kids, mother, father, anyone you can ask and say, hey, Mrs. William. His other last name's Covello, I believe, Covello. I don't know where that last name came from, but regardless, we have no way to fact check anything and go back to his high school and say, hey, did you know Anthony in high school? Did he say he was talking to spirits? Because he claims he had this gift from when he was 4 years old. Anyways, so that's one thing. And then the second thing is it's not just enough to hear spirits one spirits particularly in his ear all day. He also has experienced aliens. Only him, right? Only him. And he also believes in chemtrails and a lot of things that align with some of the people he is targeting, I believe, in his work. Anyways, so, and if you are wondering what the heck the celery is about, he's the guy who basically started the celery juice movement. Now, a couple years ago, maybe 3-4 years ago, if you couldn't find celery at the grocery store, it was probably because this guy decided like celery is the cure-all for everything. Now I'm going to admit that I also partook in the celery juice craze like 2 years ago during COVID. And not because I thought it was going to cure me or anything, but I was home. I wasn't really working as much as I am now. I had time. I was doing yoga a lot. I was like, why not try this kooky thing that I keep seeing on Instagram? And it was fine. It tasted okay. I felt no amazing effects at all. And then I stopped doing it because you have to do one juice is one entire like container of celery. And after a while, that just adds up. And I wasn't seeing any results. Meet Anthony William, not to be confused with Anthony Williams. Medical medium, the chronic illness expert, originator of the global celery juice movement and the brain shot therapy, and the host of the Medical Medium podcast, is the #1 New York Times bestselling author of Brain Saver. Okay, so I have Medical Medium, the basic book. He's got a bunch of other ones, including thyroid healing. Okay, let me just read them all. Brain Saver protocols, cleanses, and recipes. Cleanse to heal, celery juice, liver rescue, thyroid healing, life-changing foods, and the revised and expanded Medical Medium. That's one I have. Anthony was born where? We'll never know. Anthony was born with the unique ability to converse with the spirit of compassion. Okay, that's the spirit that he talks to, or that talks to him, who provides him with extraordinarily advanced healing medical information that's far ahead of its time, of course. Since age 4, Anthony has been using his gift to see into people's conditions and tell them and their doctors how to recover their health. Can you imagine this guy walking? You go to a doctor's office and you're like, "Hi, I'm here for my appointment. I've brought along Medical Medium with me. He's already decided what is wrong with me," which we'll also talk about, but everything, according to Medical Medium, is Epstein-Barr virus. Everything that you have wrong in your life, essentially, is the Epstein-Barr virus. And if you are a big follower of Hollisville and Heidi Powell, one time, probably a year ago, Heidi Powell posted that she believed she had chronic illness because of Epstein-Barr virus. And I was highly, suspicious that she had not just been exposed to the Medical Medium that day, because I never heard about it again. And she never brought it up again or talked about it. And that's just interesting that is his whole, everything that goes wrong with you is is Epstein-Barr virus, according to him. Okay, since age 4, Anthony has been using his gift to see into people's conditions and tell them and their doctors how to recover their health. Over decades of helping individuals find the answers they needed, Anthony found that he could only help so many as his waiting list continued to grow. Anthony now dedicates much of his time and energy to listening to Spirit of Compassion's information and placing it into books so everybody who buys his book can have an opportunity to heal. That's what I wonder. I'm like, okay, if you truly had this gift from God or from whatever, would you really follow all of the capitalistic barriers, or would you fit yourself into a capitalist society? Like, if you truly had a gift that could save people's lives, like you have cancer, I got your solution. He claims he can go like this. Both in person, he has to do, okay, here's another thing. We'll talk about this as well. But he does the same claim, he has the same claim as Healy, where the Healy works because it's, clipped to you and is giving you vibes in your brain or whatever, but also can work without any geographic constraints. So if you put the Healy on in California, it can be scanned and you can scan somebody in New York. Explain how that works. Same thing with Medical Medium. He claims he can do it over the phone. He claims he can do it just by thinking about you. He can decide like, oh, you have brain cancer. You have this cancer. But if he's in person, he does this. Oh, yes. Your liver's got some enzymes on it. So it's like, what's the point of putting your hands up and going like this other than just for the theater of it? Anyways, okay. His unprecedented accuracy and success rate as the medical medium have earned him the trust and love of millions worldwide, among them movie stars, rock stars, billionaires, professional athletes, and countless other people from all walks of life who couldn't find a way to heal until he provided them with insights from above. Over the decades, Anthony has also been an invaluable resource to doctors who need help solving their most difficult cases. I would like to hear one medical doctor who's not a naturopath, who has not lost their license in some sort of scheme or scam or, business adventure, who uses medical medium as their resource. Send them my way, please. The information provided on the site is for general information. Okay, here's the key here. Okay, if you really had this information, would you make sure to legalese your entire page and have a full page disclaimer? Because I think if I truly believed in myself that I had gifts from God, okay, there is no one higher than the person who's talking. The only person, okay, Spirit of Compassion is here. This is according to him. God is the only one above him. So with that logic, this dude, this guy right here, this, unassuming, no history man, is third in line from God, whatever that means to you. So, creator of the universe, Spirit of Compassion, Anthony William. So, am I saying this guy's a narcissist? Yes, I am, in my humble opinion. If you believed that, would you spend the time worrying about getting sued? Would you spend the time worrying about putting disclaimers saying that this is not medical information, that someone should go to their doctor? Whatever. I don't think so. I really don't think so. If you truly believed in your delusions, why put the effort in to keep yourself legally safe? Anyways, the information provided on the site is for general informational purposes only. The information is not intended to be a substitute for professional health or medical advice or treatment, nor should it be relied upon for the diagnosis, prevention, or treatment of any health consideration. Consult with a licensed healthcare practitioner before altering or discontinuing any medications, treatments, or care, or starting any diet, exercise, or supplementation program. Even though he'll say, doctors, they just don't care about you and they don't have the time to worry about you. And I have the solutions and the diagnoses for you. Anyways, okay, so here we have wild blueberry challenge. And also his kitchen is very studioized now. He's added lights, he's added props. He's very Dr. Oz of him. He's got his books out there in the background, just in case you want to read. And that's a challenge, I guess. Then you got brain shot therapy. He's got all of the medical mannequins. He's not just the medical medium. He's the medical mannequin collector as well. Okay. And then there's a lot of people who will speak for him and say it's the best. He's the best ever. Okay. So here are some things that you can work on using the medical mediums. I don't know, his stupid ass cures. Depression, Epstein-Barr virus. That's the one that's everything also. So if you think you have cancer, you're wrong. You probably have Epstein-Barr virus, according to this dude. Acne, anxiety, asthma and lung health, autoimmune disorders and diseases. That's the one he targets the most, in my opinion. Blood clots, cold and flu, eczema, psoriasis, neurological symptoms and conditions, shingles virus, and virus protection. And if you don't know what that one's going to be about, wink, wink, guess what just happened 2 years ago and continues, or 3 years ago now, and continues to be a topic of conversation and fear for many people in the world. Wink, wink, virus. Okay, here you go.